All right, welcome back. It's The Reset. I'm Anthony Bailey.
And I'm Rici Bell.
We are back here with another great conversation. Hopefully you have missed us. We've been off for the past few weeks. A little bit of a recharge, a little mental
much needed.
Yeah, exactly.
We had to reset.
We did. And you know, it's good to do that because we cover some deep topics with you all week to week.
Right.
And we're excited about today's guest.
We are. So today, oh my goodness, buckle up, folks. We have an amazing woman. I before we got on camera, I found this word and I read the definition of this word, and I immediately thought of this woman when I read this definition. So I'm going to read it to you and then introduce her, okay? So the word is meliorism. Say it with me, meliorism.
Oh, boy.
And it is the belief that we can contribute to positive change and improve the world through acts of love, creativity, compassion, and kindness. Viewers, listeners, please welcome Charah Coleman.
Yeah, welcome to The Reset.
That's such a flattering intro. I think my most flattering yet.
Oh, well, listen, I'm telling you, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is who this woman is. And we just met, but, you know, I've been following you on social media and just some of the things that you're doing. So just kick off by telling us about yourself.
Yeah.
Who is Charah?
Charah, oh wow. So I come from a long line of helpers. My dad's a firefighter, mom and grandma nurses, and the people I come from, we intervene when things are hard, when there's an impasse in things happening. I like to think of myself as part of that energy too. Like I come in, I'm a helper, right? I try to help people from one point to the other. So I've given a lot of my life in higher ed, even more, almost 3 decades holding space for folks, whether it's healing spaces, community organizing. And so, yeah, I like to look at myself as a helper and just here to serve humanity.
I love that.
Yeah,
Oh, wait. I'm feeling all like warm and fuzzy right now, seriously.
And it's genuine.
No,
it really
it's genuine.
is who she is.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah. So you said the term holding space. It's sort of a newer phrase that people are using and hearing. Explain to us, what does it look like to hold space for someone?
Yeah, it can mean many different things, but the way I express it is giving people room for their authentic self. As messy as that could be really messy at times.
Yeah,
and when you hold space for a group of people or an individual, you're allowing them to show up as their true authentic self with all the flaws and human pieces that they're bringing, and you're letting them experience that and hopefully elevate that in some way.
Wow.
I like it.
Wow.
I like it. You know, what I love about that is the fact that when people are their authentic self, you can really get some work done.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not like you're trying to, like in the dating world or even in the married world, trying to peel back those layers of what's really going on. Like, just tell me what's really wrong. You spend all that time peeling the layers back, and when they come and they feel comfortable, I'd imagine the work gets done faster.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly.
You can't lie to yourself, right? Yeah. And ultimately, you are who you are, and you need to work on those pieces. There's also some shame behind not being your authentic self. You can isolate and not be truthful, and when you're authentic, you're truthful, and standing in your truth helps you see anything that you want to make better, right? Or anything that you want to elevate too. The good parts too. It can be a positive thing, holding space for folks too. So
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm reminded of one of our earlier conversations with another guest who said that if you are a safe person or a safe space, I will give you my best. And so you're talking about holding space for people to show up as their authentic selves. So that, to me, that just means that you are a safe person.
I try to be. You know, I can't guarantee safety. That's all relative to the individual, but I can promise a brave space. So I can never promise safety because that's relative to your own personal boundaries and what you see as and perceive as safety, right? But I can offer a brave space, one that's authentic and one that's going to really hold you as a person showing up.
Yeah, tell us more about those brave spaces, those transformative spaces. I'm thinking specifically of something that you have called Sound for the People. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Sound for the People was birthed a few years ago based on my own personal burnout story of holding space for folks. So I usually function in like a very cerebral place. I think it also comes from my higher ed background, right? These talk spaces, these healing spaces where you're talking out, it was starting to burn me out as a practitioner because I care and I carry a lot with me because I'm very empathetic. So I needed a way to express space and offer rest to folks in a community setting without it burning me out. So Sound for the People was birthed out of that. And the biggest thing we need right now is community. I think we all need to lean in. I'm looking at the camera, we need to lean into community.
That's right.
Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's inconvenient for you, lean into community in some way. And that's also what Sound for the People is. We only do communal spaces because that's something we desperately need right now.
And so explain to us a little bit more, what does a session with community look like?
Yeah.
What does that look like? And how can people join in and be a part of it?
Yeah, so if they follow on Sound for the People on Instagram, I'm primarily there, or soundforthepeople.com. You can sign up for updates on my newsletter for information. And what is sound bath? I particularly do sound baths, but I also do other type of meditative spaces and trainings. But a sound bath in particular, imagine a space where you're burnt out, you're coming and laying down on the ground if you're able to, you're sitting in a chair, you're closing your eyes, and you're allowing your body to just sit in a state of rest, and you're not looking at technology, you're not tied to anything, and you're not also asked to do anything in that space. You're laying there, and that's really hard for a lot of people, though. That can be very hard.
Sounds like a vacation for my soul.
My God.
Yes.
I love that.
And so something that research has taught us with meditative spaces, it can actually rewire your brain in beautiful ways. So there's a lot of neuroscience. It is the reset. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system. I love sound therapy because as someone that has a hard time meditating with no sound at all or no input, it gives you like a tether. So you still have something. It's not complete silence, which makes a difference.
Where did this all begin at? Kind of walk us back through the sound bath thing, because got a chance to meet you a few years ago. You're knee deep in financials and education and helping students. But where did the sound bath idea come from? Because I saw it pop up on social media, and I was like, first question was like,
what is this? How do you go from money to sound bath?
Yes. Exactly. There's actually huge. So money and mental health are like besties, right? Like you can't have one without the other.
Wow.
So dysregulated nervous systems do not spend money in a way that aligns with your values.
Ooh, you're speaking my language.
Can you say that one more time for the people in the back of the room? One more time.
So dysregulated nervous systems that will not allow you to spend money in a way that aligns with your values. With how you really want to express yourself, with what you care about, right? Because you're going to spend money emotionally.
Right.
When we do that, we spend money out of alignment of our values. That doesn't align with our long-term goals. So seeing folks burn out, seeing the false equation that our net worth is wrapped up in our productivity, which is false, right? Seeing all that on the money side and seeing how much folks were just burnt out. They were burning themselves out trying to chase a thing external to them, and seeing that need for caregivers, for parents, for leadership, for organizers. We're all holding space for people. We're all doing things to advance our community, but what's nourishing us?
So can we put a pin right there? I'm just curious about how you're able to keep holding the space.
I know, I say that a lot.
Type of time. And I love the phrase, but how are you able to continuously do that? Without burning out, because you said that drove you off the cliff and you burned out.
It did.
Right.
How did you come back on that road and go, I'm going to be measured, or how were you able to do it and not burn out?
So part of my journey healing from a traumatic brain injury was sound therapy. It's not like the thing, right? I don't want to claim that. But it was one of the modalities I used that really helped me connect back with my body again. Wow. And so for me, imagine like a battery's like a circuit, and it just keeps nourishing and fulfilling itself. That's really what happens during a sound bath or any space that I hold. I'm very intentional with making sure that I'm also being filled as a practitioner.
Yes.
And I will say, you know, even weeks leading up to a sound bath or any space that I'm facilitating, I'm taking care of myself.
Yeah,
I'm not going to practice something and be burning out and stressing out on the back end. I couldn't live with myself ethically like that. So I am taking care of myself as a practitioner. So the more you see me out in the community, the more I am taking care of myself as well.
That's such a good leadership lesson. I mean, they're sort of shift gears, not really. Yeah. It's in the same vein, but there are so many leaders today that we can look at, and they're saying one thing, but they're living a different way, or they're posting a different way. And in my mind, I'm going, are you taking your own advice, sir? Are you taking your own advice, ma'am?
Yeah.
That part.
Because as a leader, when you are holding space for so many people facing so many different issues, compassion fatigue is real. Vicarious traumatization is real. Yes. Lack of self-awareness in your own world, it's all real. And so, speak to the leaders real quick, and invite the leaders into a space of authenticity where they are consciously and intentionally taking time for themselves before they go out on that battlefield and try to lead others.
I feel like there's so many of us that want to be leaders, but we don't realize the responsibility it takes because of that one part, right? Because you're constantly being introspective and checking yourself.
It's supposed to be.
If you're right, and so that's the part we don't talk about. We talk about the prestige and the things that are supposedly, heavy is the head that wears the crown. You know, we have there's a true responsibility to get right with yourself mentally, because people are looking up to you. They're modeling the behavior that you're modeling, and if it's inauthentic, it's going to eventually be found out, and then you're going to lose trust with folks, and they're going to be re-traumatized too.
See, oh my goodness,
deep. That is deep. Re-traumatized by
that part.
Wow. When you think about it.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So as a leader of transformative spaces, one who holds space, brave space for people, what does recharging look like for you? Besides the sound therapy, and what are some other tools that you use?
Me personally, just hanging out with my cats.
How many do you have? Let's just
I have a few. I'm certified like rescue almost at this point. Rescue your pets, y'all. We don't need any breeders. Rescue your pets. Quick plug for rescued animals. Just even being out in nature. There's like when they say touch grass, that's literally they're saying get out in nature, and just being out in nature, again, putting the phone away, putting the tech away. Our bodies and brains have not evolved to keep up with tech in a tech environment. We're meant to hear birds and have our feet on the grass, and our bodies aren't these evolved things to like deal with tech and the hardscape. No.
Wow.
No. So just being out in nature just nourishes me, first of all. Like when I'm really, really stressed, I'll just be out in nature and the awe of it. I mean, we're next to 2 beautiful national parks, a bunch of state parks. We're very blessed to be so close to all of this. So go out in nature.
Tell us more about that. Are you a hiker? Are you a camper? Do you like to do the trails?
I have before. I've climbed Half Dome with my dad, so I was proud about that.
I love that.
He kicked my butt even at like his old age. He's still, firefighter, so still did it. But that's a pretty extreme example. But just even. I love the camping element because you can really, I'm not a glamper, I'm a real camper.
Like in real life.
And I really like that because you really are part of the elements and you adjust with the elements and what's happening. You're not in your little cocoon of comfort. And then training your nervous system to be uncomfortable but to adapt, I think is really important too. So that's something I like to do every now and then, just as a reminder of like my place in the world, you know?
Remind yourself of your humanity.
Absolutely.
And that we need breaks. We need breaks before we break.
We do.
So true.
We do.
So true.
We really
avoid
do.
that burnout you were talking about there. So I am curious. Obviously, we talked a lot on the mental health, and we want to stay in that vein. But while we have you here, I really would be kind of remiss if I didn't throw a couple of financial questions.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready.
There's some parents that are watching right now.
I'm ready.
So we got a chance to meet Charah. Our first contact with her was really sharing with students about how to get their financial selves together, which as a college student is a whole stress in its own. Apart from a lack of knowledge and not really understanding what's going on. So, like, what's going on with you these days? You know, what type of tips do you have? If there are parents that are watching that maybe can pull their kid over. What are you sharing with the students these days? What are you sending them home with?
I mean, first off, to any caregivers, parents, people with children in their life, you can never start too early talking to your child about finances. Just the value of money, the time value of money, right? And savings, needs versus wants. Those basic things can be talked about early on. And it also destigmatizes it. It doesn't make it a grown folks thing. It makes them participatory in the household expenses. So that's really important from the get-go. Something based on my research and my master's, and then just plenty of research out there, that financial self-efficacy is the number one contributor to being good, quote unquote, good with finances. So what that means is it's your belief in your ability to take the tools that you have and get where you want to get financially. And so instilling that in your student, in your child now, it's so important. And that also can mean modeling healthy financial behavior, not just saying it, but you know, as we know, kids watch what we do more than they're listening to us.
Yes, they do.
So modeling that is really important. But then specifically for college students, getting them involved in their own finances early. So that way you're not helping your student if you're doing things for them in college, right? Because I look at college as that transitional time where you're learning how to adapt and how to adult, quote unquote, right? And so you're not doing them any favors if you have all of the funding and you're helping them pay their bills.
That's right.
Having them involved in the process. And then even before they graduate high school, talking to them about what the bills look like. You don't want it to be a shock how much expenses are in the valley when they're living on their own.
Well, we've both got kids. Rici's got kids that are already in college and gone the way, and I've got mine that are on the way as well. What type of tips are there as far as getting involved? What types of things have you all done as far as money in their accounts and they pay the bill, you're saying? Or
what does that look like practically?
I mean, it really depends on your child and their skill set and their capacity. I know a lot of kids are involved in extracurriculars this time of year. If they have the ability to, even finding a part-time job and making them responsible for that funding, or even an allowance if they're young enough, giving them that allowance, which could be tax deductible. That's a whole other segment we could talk about. But that could go into a custodial Roth. We won't talk about that on this segment.
Oh, no, I love this. So I'm going to give a quick shout out. Melanin Money, Carter Cofield, and those guys. I mean, because they live in that space, and that's where I first got exposed to that.
Right on.
So I love everything you're saying now.
Right on. Because you know, right? You know, and the time value of money with students and the youth that we deal with, they have a long retirement horizon. So the money compounding with the interest is going to do a lot more now if you front load it than if you're worried about that at 25, 23, even 21.
And these are things that we're not taught.
No.
Okay, so story time.
Yes.
Let me tell you about my relationship with money.
Yes.
Okay. I thought, don't laugh at me.
I won't laugh.
Don't laugh at me.
No judgment. This is a judgment-free space.
Don't laugh at me. I thought that as long as I had checks in the checkbook, that I could write them. I didn't realize that there had to be money. I know this sounds so simple, but this is how ignorant I was earlier on. I didn't realize, oh wait, there needs to be money in an account in order to write this check. And then I was completely ignorant. My relationship with money was, well, there is none. There is no money. So why talk about it? And I'm just wondering, like, how many other folks, young folks, older folks, how many other folks are out there with that same background, that same non-relationship with money? We don't talk about it because there is none.
Right.
So true.
I do hear that a lot. We call that a money story, right? It's a script that was given to us or told in our household, and reframing that takes some intentionality and work to unpack that.
Absolutely.
Number one, acknowledging that that's your money story that you grew up with.
Right.
And then, okay, how do I want to rewrite that? What type of behaviors do I want to do to rewrite that money story for myself, for my children, for my family? I think that's really important. And the thought that we have to have resources to care about them is really a hard thing for me to accept, because, you know, I think also of some of the people that are the best with money have very little resources. They're very resourceful. My grandma was a Depression baby, right? And so
wow.
I don't care how resourced I am, I will always put water in my shampoo bottle. And I grew up resourced. I grew up resourced, but because she modeled that to me, that we use things to the last drop in this house, and we were resourced.
Yes.
But that's how she grew up, and that was her money story.
That's right.
And I love that about me. I love that I will use the last of
That's
the
right.
toothpaste. You know, I'm not throwing
right.
things
That's
away.
right. Cut it
all the way
Yes.
through.
Stick that toothpaste
Yes.
in there, get it out. That's right. Or make your own toothpaste.
Exactly.
But yes,
And the
it's
way,
real.
and now that we're getting into a cycle in our economy where resources are a little bit more scarce,
my goodness.
it's important to talk to our elders,
We
because
do.
a lot of them have dealt with these things.
And they survived.
Exactly.
They survived.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I have a question that I've just been burning to ask you. You developed something called the Money Center.
Yes.
And so we want to hear about that.
Yeah.
But the question behind the question is, I mean, you can pop on the news, you can talk to your neighbors. There's a lot going on right now in terms of finances, lack of resources, the haves and the have-nots. It's embarrassing what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, can you explain to us in like layman's terms, what is the difference between being rich and being wealthy?
Yeah.
We talk about generational wealth. We talk about, oh, he's really rich, she's really rich. But what's the connection with wealth, though? What's the difference between being rich and being wealthy?
So for me, rich is a tangible asset, right? It's a thing. And you could have a lot of things but still not be wealthy, right? You can have a lot of tangible assets, but your net worth is actually negative, right? So you could have a bunch of stuff around you, but your net worth, what you're actually, what you're worth, not your value as a human. I wanted to reiterate that.
Of course.
But your net worth in calculations and math terms. But for me, wealth is number one, your health. That's literally all you have in this world. So your physical health and mental health are number one. Also, your community and your relationship with others. Those are things that you can be wealthy. So you might not be resourced, but you might be wealthy. And that's important to remember in the discussion of your net worth being driven by productivity, right? Like you're not your output. You're not that paper you write. You know, you're not the extra job. You're not the book that you write.
Yeah, that's so good. I heard a quote a while ago. It said, some people are so poor that all they have is money. And it struck me, and I'm just like,
what?
That is real.
Wait,
that's a
what?
whole word.
It is.
It's a
I
whole
don't
word.
remember where I heard it, but I was like,
yeah.
wait, what? And it totally shifted my idea of resources and riches. But yeah, whew.
I also do want to say
you, so it made an impact.
That part. I also do want to say though, you can't financial literacy yourself out of poverty. You know, you can't meditate yourself out of those things, out of a mental health crisis necessarily. So I just want to mention that too, because there's a financial literacy is different. Financial wellness with what we focus on in the Financial Wellness Center, the Money Management Center that I founded at Fresno State. Those things are looking at the holistic person. We're not just looking at the literacy, the tools.
I think I was just so moved when we first heard about that center you put together at Fresno State.
Yeah.
I was one of those high school kids that did the Upward Bound, the Summer Break, and all that stuff. And to have something like that on campus now for this era of students is so needed, but it was so powerful. It just really struck me that so many of us go into that arena, go into undergrad without all those financial lessons, and you learn them along the way.
Writing checks just because they're in the checkbook.
Exactly.
Hello, but
like how much was in the checking account?
Zero. But what led you to found the Money Center. Tell us more about that.
Yes. So now I founded the Financial Wellness Center at UC Merced. But for both of those places, working in higher ed, hearing the stories of the students, something that we saw was a gap in the tools and the understanding of the relationship that they needed to create with money. And a lot of our first gens in the Valley, they're getting refund checks. It's more money than they've ever seen.
Oh, by far.
And
and let's pause real quick for the folks in the that have not been to undergrad before. Tell us about the refund check.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for pausing for that. So yeah, because in higher ed we can really get off and just talk our own thing.
As a football scholarship guy, the refund check was like amazing to hear. That I was like, oh yeah, that's right, we get paid. Okay, good.
It is a thing. Okay. So not everyone gets one. I want to start off by saying that. Yeah. If you have more resources or financial aid scholarships than what the school is billing you for either tuition, housing, etc., if there's surplus, that's the refund check. And you can get that quarterly, semesterly, it depends on the school. But again, not all students get those things. But if you do, it could be a larger check. And you have to parcel it out and budget it. Yeah. And make sure that you're stretching it until you get the next one.
Right.
We're talking about 1, 2, 3, at least 4. Normally at least 4 digits on those checks.
Oh yeah.
And you come out of certain neighborhoods,
right.
You may not have seen more than 2 digits in your pocket.
Right.
So to get a check for 4 digits or more is like,
oh yeah.
Wow,
that
we're
part.
going shopping, we're buying this, we're buying that.
Or the athletes who are going to college and going to the league. And the
NIL money
first,
now.
the first check that they see is, whoa, lots of commas.
Yep.
What do we do with that? So money, financial literacy, it's such an important topic.
Oh yeah.
What's the difference between the 2 centers? Because I don't know if you guys caught this at home, but she did the one center at Fresno State. A second center that has a different name to it, the Wellness Center. So what's the difference in the focus of both of those?
Yeah, both of them focused on the whole person. I think at UC Merced, we're looking at even more of those connections. We do one-on-one financial coaching sessions with students, and that is really everything. That's where that self-efficacy piece comes in, that financial self-efficacy, right? Because giving them the tools and educating is one thing, but I'm going down the path with you and saying, okay, this is a compass, this is what you'll need, because they're going to keep going in life, and I need to give them those tools, show them how to use it, work with them, beside them as they use things, and we have a peer model, so the peers are doing that with them.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's great. We're gonna have to have you back for like at the top of the year for like some financial planning resolutions and like even some mental health resolutions. Just to kick off 2026 in a healthy way.
Yeah, because everybody's making those New Year's resolutions.
Right.
And that's how Rici and I connected and ended up back here was taking a recap of those New Year's fitness resolutions. And you fast forward and here we are. But yeah, we'd love to have you in for a financial one.
We
That's
definitely need to do that. Definitely need to do that. Thank you so much to our special guest, Charah Coleman, for joining us and just telling us more about those transformative spaces that you are helping to create. So.
Yeah, it's been great. Of course, we thank you all for joining us. We'll be back, of course, on a regular kind of cadence going forward here. And that will do it for this week's Reset. We got to send you off with our question that we always want to know.
Yes, at the end of the day, we just want to know, are you okay?